Here is why the establishment elite of Washington, D.C. hate Donald Trump so badly. It really is this simple. Let me illustrate. The Muslim world is largely divided between its two largest camps of distinction, the Sunnis and the Shiites. The divide between Sunnis and Shia is the largest and oldest in the history of Islam. Both groups are card-carrying Muslims, hardcore Islamists, and they're looking for the Middle East and the world to one day be dominated by Islam and Sharia. While they most certainly have a few doctrine and ideological differences, their biggest beef with each other is determining which of the two main groups will get to be in charge of the new Islamic world they wish to create. And so they constantly fight each other, and they constantly kill each other. However, if an infidel shows up in their midst, one who is not one of them, they will join forces to fight that outsider to the death. Why? Well, because there might be an outside possibility that the infidel might defeat them, and then neither of the two groups, the Sunnis or the Shias, would get to run the kingdom. Now, let's talk about establishment Republicans and Democrats. They undoubtedly have ideological and doctrine differences, but they ultimately want the very same end goal. They are each looking to build a new world order. Representatives from both groups, Republicans and Democrats, routinely use that globalist terminology of New World Order for their dreams of their kingdom on earth. One used to be considered a conspiracy theorist if you pointed out this fact, but not any longer. The elitist spokespeople from the Bush family to John Kerry and everyone in between, they constantly use those terms. They've spilled the beans. They are basically two sides of the same coin. They both hold to the same religion, if you will. So what are they fighting about in Washington? Well, it's what they have always fought about. Who gets to run the show? Who gets to hold the power? They will fight each other. They will impeach each other. They will threaten each other. They will attempt to outmaneuver each other and lie to each other and cheat each other until an outsider comes along and threatens to wipe the whole slate clean and perhaps turn the whole thing back over to we the people. That prospect is unthinkable to them. It would snatch their dreams, their wealth, their power right out from underneath them. In order to prevent that from happening, they will hold their noses, compromise, and strike deals with each other to let the other side have the power for a while until they can regroup and try to retake their territory. Now, into the room steps Donald Trump. The man that Newt Gingrich said couldn't be controlled or manipulated. Newt Gingrich said Donald Trump is an outsider. He doesn't belong to the, quote, secret societies. You see, the bottom line is that Trump scares the elitists to death. He gives the establishment crowd sheer nightmares. He's not one of them. He's an infidel. He has the potential to be the exterminator. He has a different worldview. He is much more of a nationalist. They are globalist. He probably can't be bribed. He's already richer than all of them combined. He most likely can't be manipulated, blackmailed, or controlled. That is, if he doesn't allow himself to be. And listen to what Donald Trump is promising in this campaign. And remember, this is what the Washington insiders hate him for. He says he will protect our borders, build a wall if necessary. He will stop illegal immigration and refugees. He will stop the Islamists who wish to destroy us from entering into our country. He will restore America's military might and greatness. He will restore America's economic engine of greatness. He wants to return America's corporations back to the mainland. He wants to create new, good, high-paying jobs. He wants to get people off of welfare and into a viable job market. He wants to respect our Constitution, our heritage, and our Judeo-Christian heritage. And he wants to deal firmly with those who hate us, not genuflecting and cowering to them. Donald Trump probably, in other words, won't kiss the ring of the Saudi Arabian king. And for these things, the establishment in Washington hates him. Some of them are even saying, I'll vote for Hillary Clinton before I vote for Donald Trump. Really? Well, yes, of course they would. They must. They all belong to the same religion. Oh, two different denominations, but the same religion. See, here is who hates Donald Trump. The Washington elite and the establishment shills. The liberal media. The socialists, the communists, the entitlement mentality crowd. The racist Black Lives Matter type groups. Islamists, ISIS, globalists, the Chinese, the Russians, the anti-Israel nations and groups, those who hate Christians, those who hate America, those who hate the Constitution, those who want America's borders open to the world. These are the people that hate Trump. Now you know at least a part of what's really going on in Washington these days.